They say if you ever see your own death on TV, you're already too late. I didn't believe it. Not until last week, when I was flipping through channels at 2:41 in the morning, half asleep, half drunk, and landed on something I shouldn't have. It was a foreign channel. No logo, no music, just a low-resolution news anchor speaking a language I didn't recognize, and behind him, grainy footage started to play. A body, twisted on the floor of a dim hallway, dressed like me, same jeans, same shirt. I laughed at first, a nervous kind of laugh, like when you almost fall down the stairs. But then the camera panned out, and I saw my face, mouth open, eyes glassy, blood pooled beneath my shoulder like a black halo. And standing behind my body was something tall and still and wrong. No face, no details, just a silhouette in the static, like the signal was trying to hide it, like it wasn't supposed to be there, like it didn't belong on any channel meant for human eyes. I changed the channel immediately. That was mistake number one. If this ever happens to you, and I pray to whatever still watches this world that it doesn't, remember, the moment you see your death on screen, the countdown starts. And if you're not careful, the footage doesn't just show you dying, it becomes the way you die. Here are the only tips I can give you. Follow them exactly, or the next time someone stumbles onto that broadcast, you'll already be gone, and something else will be living your life. Tip 1. Keep watching until the broadcast ends on its own. Your first instinct will be to look away, to change the channel, to power off the TV, to do anything but keep watching the image of your own dead body fade in and out through static. But you can't, not yet. If you interrupt the broadcast before it ends on its own, it doesn't stop the signal. It anchors it to you. When I cut the power, the screen didn't go dark, not completely. It lingered, like an afterimage, like it had burned itself into the glass, or maybe into my eyes. I stared at my reflection in that blackened screen for hours, and I swear to God, I blinked, but my reflection didn't. That was when I realized the TV wasn't showing me. Not anymore. It was showing what was going to take my place. You might think pulling the plug is the safest option, but that only proves you don't understand what you're dealing with. This isn't a show. It's a signal, and the moment you become aware of it, you're inside it. If you've already made the mistake, if you've powered off, unplugged, broken the screen, then you need to act fast. Find a screen, any screen, a phone, a monitor, an old set in a motel lobby. Turn it on, tune it to static. If the broadcast finds you again, let it play. Sit there, grit your teeth, watch your own lifeless body twitch on the floor, or collapse in the street, or drown in the bathtub. However the footage shows it, let it finish, let it fade. Only once the screen goes dark on its own do you get your first chance to fight back. And believe me, that chance doesn't last long. Tip 2. Record the broadcast, but never replay it. After the footage fades, after the screen hisses back into ordinary static or dead silence, you'll be standing there, alive, breathing, but not untouched. There's a trick to surviving longer, and it feels counterintuitive. You have to record the broadcast, not because you'll need proof, not because you'll want to show anyone. You have to record it because the original footage protects you. It's the only thing tying the signal back to its origin instead of letting it free to replace you. I scrambled for my phone the first time it happened. My hands were shaking so badly, I almost dropped it. I recorded through the end, capturing the static, the glitching face of the news anchor, the grainy outline of my own corpse. I didn't know why at the time, only that something deep in my brain, some prehistoric terror told me, document it, trap it, hold it down like a wild animal. And it worked for a while. But here's the catch, and if you screw this up, nothing else will save you. Never replay it, not even once. I know you'll be tempted. You'll convince yourself you imagined the whole thing, that maybe, if you just watch it again in the light of day, it'll make sense. Maybe it wasn't even you on the floor. Maybe it wasn't a body at all. Maybe it was just a weird foreign commercial, some kind of ARG, a prank, a delusion. You'll be wrong. The second the footage plays again, in full, in part, muted, even minimized, it invites it closer. Replaying it is permission. It gives the thing behind your body a clear shot at crossing over. No more needing screens, no more needing static, just you and it. And once it touches you, you'll wish your death had stayed on the television. Record it. Save it somewhere you can't accidentally open it. Lock it away, offline, air-gapped. Treat it like a landmine buried under your life. Something that's always there, ticking quietly beneath your feet. And pray you never feel the urge to press play. Tip 3. Memorize the object nearest to your body on screen. After the broadcast ends, it won't just be over. The signal leaves something behind, not just static in the air, not just nausea in your stomach, a tether. When you see your body lying there, twisted, crumpled, still, you'll notice something else, an object, something nearby. It could be anything, a pair of shoes, a shattered phone, a stuffed animal, a broken window latch. It'll seem random, insignificant, background noise. It isn't. That object becomes your last link to this reality, the thing that keeps you anchored when everything else tries to rewrite you. I didn't realize it at first. In my footage, there was a key ring lying next to my body. Old, battered, the kind you clip to your belt loop without thinking about it. Mine had a plastic tag from a hardware store, one of those little barcodes nobody ever peels off. I didn't think anything of it until 3 days later when I reached into my pocket and felt nothing but loose denim. No keys, no tag, and when I went to unlock my apartment door that night, the lock didn't recognize me, not like some security system. I mean, the lock itself had changed. It didn't belong to me anymore, and the longer I stood there fumbling for something I no longer had, the more I could feel the thing from the broadcast watching, waiting. If you ever see your death play out on screen, focus on that object. Burn its image into your mind. Sketch it. Memorize every scratch, every crack, every stain. Because the moment it disappears from your real life, you'll know you're slipping. And once you've slipped far enough, the thing standing behind your body in that grainy footage, it'll find enough room to step into the space you left behind. Tip 4. Locate the nearest abandoned broadcast tower. Once the footage plays, once the tether is set, the thing that's hunting you doesn't just drift around aimlessly. It needs something to hold on to. Something physical, somewhere physical. And it will almost always use whatever structure first carried the signal to you. That's why you need to find the nearest abandoned broadcast tower. Yeah, I know how that sounds. Conspiracy theory nonsense. Something you hear from the guy at the end of the bar who's one drink away from being thrown out. But it's real. Somewhere near you, closer than you'd want to believe, there's a rusted old communications tower. Maybe it hasn't been used in 20 years. Maybe the government forgot it was even there. Maybe the government pretends they forgot. Doesn't matter. The broadcast you saw, the one that showed your body, your death, your replacement, it had to come from somewhere. And that tower is the mouth it crawled through. I found mine 2 days after the broadcast, deep in the woods, fenced off, chained up, signs everywhere that screamed, "No trespassing," in the kind of aggressive red you only use when you want to scare someone worse than death. Didn't matter. I climbed the fence, cut my hands open on the rust, and went up the tower itself, up past the broken satellite dishes, up into the narrow steel bones of the structure. At the top, I found it. Not equipment, not wiring. Something else, something stitched into the metal where the beacon should have been. Black fibers like spider silk, humming with the leftover charge of a signal that shouldn't exist. I won't lie to you, I didn't destroy it. I was too late, and I was too scared. But if you're faster than I was, if you can burn it, smash it, rip it down, you might sever the signal's root. You might force it to hunt blind. And hunting blind buys you time. Not much, but enough. Enough to plan your next move. Enough to figure out how much of yourself you still have left to save. Tip 5. Write your own obituary before sunrise. Once you sever the tower, or even if you fail, you'll start noticing changes. At first, it'll feel like déjà vu. You'll catch yourself walking into rooms you don't remember crossing, saying things you don't remember thinking, dreaming of faces you've never seen, and waking up with someone else's memories clinging to the back of your teeth like rot. You're not losing your mind. You're losing your authorship. The thing from the broadcast doesn't just want to kill you. It wants to overwrite you. turn you into a walking, breathing echo of the footage it broadcast. And if you let it rewrite your story, you disappear without a ripple. You become the body on the floor. That's why you have to write your own obituary. And you have to do it before the first sunrise after the broadcast. It doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be true. Write down who you are, your name, where you were born, the mistakes you've made, the things you regret, the things you still hope for, even if you know you'll never get them. Write it in your own hand, with your own voice. Ink, not digital. Paper, not screens. You are leaving behind a record, a declaration, a refusal. If you let the sunrise come and go without anchoring yourself in words, you'll wake up different. Subtle at first. Maybe you won't remember your mother's voice. Maybe you won't recognize your own handwriting. Maybe you'll catch your reflection, and it will hesitate before moving with you. Piece by piece, the thing behind the camera erases the details that make you real. And when you're hollow enough, it will simply step in. And no one, not your friends, not your family, not even the version of you screaming inside your own skull, will notice you're gone. Tip 6. Sleep away from screens and speakers for 3 nights. If you survive the first 24 hours, congratulations. You're not safe, not even close, but you've bought yourself a tiny, bloody sliver of time, and now you have a new enemy: technology. Anything that can transmit signal, even without wires, can become its hunting ground. Phones, laptops, smartwatches, tablets, Bluetooth speakers, even that old stereo gathering dust in your garage, the one you forgot could still pick up AM radio. If it hums, if it flickers, if it even thinks about connecting to a tower, it's enough. Enough for the thing to slip through and start tugging at the edges of you. Here's what you have to do. Sleep somewhere isolated, far from any wireless signals, cell towers, routers, smart grids. Go analog, cabin in the woods, tarp under the stars, a crumbling fallout shelter if you can find one. And no, powering your phone off won't save you. Sleep next to it, and it'll still whisper to you through dead circuits, even if it looks dark and dead. 3 nights. That's the minimum. 3 nights where the thing can't find you easily. 3 nights without the hum of electricity sketching a map back to your body. Why 3? Because that's how long it takes for the broadcast to stop actively calling for you. The signal isn't infinite. It's a dying thing, a bleeding, thrashing pulse that's strongest right after it's born. Weaken it, starve it, force it to hunt blind again. Of course, the downside to running off into nowhere is that you'll be alone, and sometimes the thing doesn't need a broadcast at all. Sometimes it just follows the scent of terror. If you wake up to faint static in the tree line, if you dream of your own death replaying in slow loops behind your eyelids, if you see a figure limping toward your camp, blurry and stitched wrong against the stars. Don't look directly at it. Roll over, close your eyes, pretend you're already dead. Because if you acknowledge it, if you let it see you seeing it, you'll never get another sunrise. Tip 7. If the phone rings from an unknown country code, let it ring. The first time it called me, I almost answered. I was half awake, lying in a tent 3 miles off any trail, freezing under a too thin blanket. The reception out there should have been dead. I made sure of that. No towers, no pings, no signals. But around 2:37 a.m., my phone lit up. Unknown number. The country code wasn't local. Wasn't anywhere I recognized either. A long string of numbers that looked wrong somehow, like it belonged to a country that didn't exist anymore. And it just kept ringing. Soft at first, then louder, each vibration feeling heavier than the last, shaking the ground beneath me. There's an instinct inside every human being. When something calls your name, you answer. When a phone rings, you pick up. You can't help it. You have to fight that instinct, because it's not calling to talk. It's calling to listen. Every second you spend with that call ringing is a second it presses closer, tuning itself tighter to your life, your breath, your pattern. If you answer, it doesn't just mark you, it maps you. Your voice becomes part of its next broadcast. Your patterns, the little way you say hello or breathe between words, become scripts it uses to pull you into the footage you saw. And when it finally comes for you, no one watching will know the difference, not even you. If you see a foreign number, especially one with too many digits or numbers that don't align to any real country, let it ring. Don't mute it. Don't reject the call. Don't even touch the screen. Just let it bleed itself dry. It'll eventually stop for a while. But know this, it now knows the sound of your hesitation, the slight panic tightening your throat, the tremor in your breathing. And it will call again and again and again until the ringing stops being external and starts being inside your own skull. Tip 8. When strangers recognize you, ask them how they know you. After a few days, you'll start noticing the stares. First, it'll be someone on the bus, glancing at you, then quickly looking away. Then the cashier at the gas station, their smile freezing halfway through. A woman jogging past you on a lonely sidewalk, slowing down just a second too long to stare. At first you'll think it's in your head. Paranoia. After all, you've been living like a fugitive, sleeping under trees, dodging signals. But it's real. The broadcast didn't just mark you, it introduced you. Somewhere, on screens you'll never see, on frequencies no human should ever pick up. Your death is still playing, and sometimes people catch a glimpse, a flicker, a frame, and somewhere deep in their instincts, they recognize you, even if they don't know why. The danger isn't just that they look It's that if they remember enough, they can help the thing find you faster. There's a test. It's simple. Whenever a stranger seems too focused on you, too aware, ask them one question. How do you know me? Watch their face carefully. If they say anything like, I think I saw you on TV, you look familiar from somewhere, or worst of all, didn't you die? Just run. Don't argue, don't explain, don't try to reason, because if they remember seeing your death, even for a second, they're contaminated. They become amplifiers for the signal, walking antennas that strengthen its pull, dragging it closer to you. The worst part, they won't even know they're doing it. They'll smile, they'll ask if you're okay, they'll offer you help, they'll touch your shoulder without thinking, and in that moment, you'll feel it. That sudden, freezing awareness. The feeling of something stepping into your skin like it's trying on a suit. You have about 10 seconds after first contact before your outline in reality starts to bleed at the edges. Longer if you're lucky, but luck runs out fast when you've been broadcast. So stay moving. Stay suspicious. And above all else, stay alone. Tip 9. Do not leave a traceable pattern. It's not enough to hide anymore. It's not enough to unplug, to sleep under the stars, to stay away from strangers who recognize your ghost before you're dead. The thing that broadcast your death, it learns, it watches the small things. The diner you stop at every morning because it's safe enough. The side street you cut through to avoid cameras. The way you always sleep facing east like it matters. It's not looking for you anymore. It's looking for your habits, your fingerprints on the world. And the moment it maps them, it no longer has to chase you. It knows where you will be, when you will sleep, where your last steps will fall. And when it knows that, you'll wake up one morning and realize the world around you has already rearranged itself to match the footage you saw that night. The blood stain on the floor, the broken door hinge, the blinking light above your head, all waiting for you. A set designed perfectly around your final scene. I made the mistake once, early on, stayed at the same grimy motel 2 nights in a row, didn't think it mattered. The second night, the lobby TV was turned to the same foreign channel, the same news anchor, only this time, when the footage played, the timestamp at the bottom wasn't from the past. It was from 3 hours in the future, my own death. Already queued up, already scheduled. I didn't even make it to checkout before I had to run, leaving everything behind. Cash, driver's license, phone, clothes even. Because every item, every receipt, every footprint you leave behind is another breadcrumb for it to follow. And when you leave enough of them, you'll find yourself walking into a place that feels uncannily familiar. Too familiar. The way your corpse looked on the broadcast. The way the carpet had a wine stain shaped like a handprint. The way the ceiling fan spun just a little too fast. You'll realize too late that you're not escaping anymore. You're arriving right on schedule, right on cue, exactly where the thing always knew you'd be. Tip 10. When you hear the knocking, don't answer the door. You'll know it's close when you hear it. 3 knocks, measured, deliberate, like someone who already knows you're inside and isn't worried about being let in. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you've moved 1,000 miles, burned your clothes, erased yourself from every system that ever knew your name. The knocking will still find you. Maybe it's at your front door. Maybe it's the trunk of your car. Maybe it's at the battered motel room where you thought you could stay invisible for one more night. It will sound perfectly human, almost polite. That's the trap. The thing that broadcast your death, the thing that stitched your corpse into 1,000 broken signals, can't fully enter until you open something for it. It needs an invitation. It needs permission. The knock is the last mercy it offers, a choice to die knowingly or to be taken screaming. You have one rule in that moment. Do not answer, not the door, not the window, not the hatchback, not the gate, not even your own mind, if it starts whispering for you to just peek. The moment you engage, even if you just crack the door a sliver, you switch places. You become the body the broadcast promised. And the thing waiting outside, it becomes you. It slips into your skin like a hand into a puppet, takes your face, takes your voice, takes your entire life, and no one will ever know. You'll just vanish, another missing person, another file stamped closed after the trail runs cold, another smiling face in a photograph slowly gathering dust, and somewhere, flickering endlessly in the dead channels between stations, your death will keep playing, waiting for someone else to stumble across it, waiting for the next invitation. If you're hearing this, you're already in danger. Maybe the channel flickered across your screen for just a second. Maybe you stared too long into static without thinking. Maybe the news broadcast wasn't even in a language you understood, but your body still recognized itself lying there, broken and waiting. It doesn't matter how it started, only how it ends. Because once you see it, once you see yourself dead, alone and abandoned, the broadcast becomes a part of you. You can run, you can burn the towers, you can sleep in caves and erase your fingerprints and bury your name under 6 feet of concrete and salt. But the footage keeps playing, somewhere, somehow, on an old TV left, flickering in a pawn shop window at midnight, on a broken satellite bouncing dead signals across empty skies, on a forgotten analog station still transmitting through abandoned cities, humming between radio static like a heartbeat you can't ever outrun. You can delay it, you can starve it, but you can't erase it. Not fully. Somewhere out there right now, someone is flipping through the channels. Some tired night shift worker, some kid home alone, some insomniac desperate for anything to break the silence. And when they find your channel, when they see your death playing out frame by grainy frame. They'll do what you did. They'll freeze. They'll stare. And in that moment of recognition, the broadcast starts again. Fresher, stronger, hungrier. The last thing you'll feel won't be pain. It'll be the click of a camera, the flicker of a screen, the soft, mechanical whine of a lens, focusing one final time on your fading life. Smile. You're live. If you're still breathing, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you dare. There are plenty more nightmares waiting for you. And whatever you do, don't forget to ring the bell. It's the only way you'll hear the warnings in time.